and a mayoral candidate being challenged. The saga surrounding embattled South Suburban politician Tiffany Henyard
will be on the general election ballot despite an attempt to block her candidacy by an ally of...
In a stunning turn of events, embattled Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who finds herself at the center of chaos and controversy, with many calling it the end of her political career. Once celebrated as the youngest and first female mayor, Dalton Henyard's tenure has taken a sharp downturn amid growing scandals. Federal investigations loom, lawsuits stack up, and the community frustrated with her leadership is speaking out. Henyard was initially seen as a rising star and a symbol of hope for Dalton's struggling residents. However, instead of bringing positive change, her time in office has been overshadowed by allegations of financial mismanagement, corruption, and neglect, from taxpayer-funded luxury trips to missing key meetings during a government shutdown. Her actions, or lack thereof, have angered the community. Despite the mounting pressure, Henyard appears indifferent to the consequences as the walls close and around her. It seems her once promising career is unraveling faster than anyone expected, with the drama only continuing to.
Henyard was not at the hearing here today, neither was her attorney, and she was not made available.
This week, Mayor Tiffany Henyard skipped 2 major meetings in one day, including an emergency session in Thoron Township aimed at addressing the ongoing insurance crisis. Without insurance, critical services like senior transportation, food assistance, and even government building operations have come to a standstill. Residents are furious, with one local calling Henyard's absence a slap in the face to everyone who depends on these services. Trustee Chris Gonzalez summed it up, saying, "We're on a toll road of chaos right now, and unfortunately, the residents are the ones paying the toll." However, the story took a strange turn when Henyard cited credible threats as the reason for her absence, claiming concerns for her safety, but no evidence of these alleged threats has been provided. Senior trustee Jason House, one of Henyard's harshest critics, didn't buy the excuse. He noted that the Board of Trustees had received no information regarding any
It's about democracy and it's about hypocrisy.
I really think
credible threats, and emphasized that the meeting continued without her because the village's business couldn't be delayed any longer. Residents at the meeting were equally skeptical, with one asking, if she's so scared, why hasn't she stepped down? She's clearly not doing the job she was elected to do. Public frustration with the mayor, Tiffany Henyard, has reached a breaking point in Dalton, where a protest erupted outside a village board meeting she skipped. Residents demanded accountability, accusing her of embarrassing the village and calling for her resignation. Some likened her leadership to a chaotic reality show, describing it as more of a circus than a government. The dissatisfaction extends beyond Dalton. Thornton Township residents are also voicing anger as Henyard pushes to regain a spot on the ballot for supervisor after being removed in a controversial Democratic caucus vote last month. It's about democracy, and it's about hypocrisy. I really think it's very hypocritical. Criticism of Mayor Tiffany Henyard has intensified as residents argue her absence from meetings is not just a political concern but a legal one. As mayor of Dalton and supervisor of Thornton Township, Henyard is legally obligated to fulfill her public duties, and protesters are accusing her of neglecting her responsibilities. Some are even calling for her removal from office due to repeated absences, which they view as dereliction.
Again, no comment from Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Voters here will first head to the polls in February for the primary election, then the general mayoral.
Supporters of Mayor Tiffany Henyard argue that the blame doesn't fall entirely on her shoulders. Some contend that the dysfunction in Dalton and Thoron Township is the result of long-standing political rivalries and systemic issues that predate her tenure. "This isn't just about Tiffany," said one supporter outside a recent township meeting. "This is about a broken system that needs fixing. She's not perfect, but at least she's trying." However, even some of her former allies are starting to distance themselves, citing her growing scandals and troubles as too much of a distraction for the community. The controversial Democratic caucus has become a major point of contention, with Henyard supporters claiming they were locked out of the venue while State Senator Napoleon Harris and his allies secured a slate of candidates, including Harris himself, to replace her as supervisor. Henyard is called the process illegal and manipulative, filing multiple lawsuits to challenge the results. Critics, however, accuse her of hypocrisy, pointing to her own alleged tactics of voter suppression and power grabs in Dalton. Many residents are questioning her outrage, highlighting the inconsistency between her actions and her claims of injustice.
It's in Thornton Township and in Dalton, except in one case, Tiffany Henyard wants on a ballot, while in another, a Henyard ally was looking to keep her opponent.
Henyard has also been active on the legal front, filing lawsuits against caucus organizers, the Thornton Township Democratic Party, and even her own trustees in Dalton, accusing them of conspiring to undermine her authority. However, these legal battles have raised concerns about the financial burden they may impose. Many residents suspect taxpayer money is funding her efforts, prompting demands for transparency and accountability regarding the use of public funds for legal expenses. Frustration continues to grow over the potential misuse of taxpayer resources.
Unanimous, the objector's petition has been withdrawn.
Can't do that. Can't contest everyone.
The allegations of financial mismanagement against Henyard don't end there. She has been under federal investigation for months, with probes into everything from unaccounted funds to lavish spending on trips and events. One particularly egregious example is an $85,000 concert that had barely any attendees. Additionally, $40,000 was spent on Amazon purchases in a single day with no clear justification. A limited audit of Dalton's finances conducted by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot revealed a shocking $365 million deficit in the village's general fund. Interview 5. With all the drama surrounding her, it's no surprise Hen's political allies are dropping like flies. Even her attorney, Max Solomon, recently attempted to withdraw from representing her in an eviction case involving back rent on a property she allegedly abandoned. The case, which has been dragging on since September, is yet another example of the chaos surrounding Hen. Yard court documents reveal that she and a co-owner owe over $133,000 in rent and damages, while Solomon's motion to withdraw didn't specify his reasons. It's clear that representing Henyard at this point feels like trying to keep a sinking ship afloat.
Manipulation. Nobody likes being manipulated, and when you get here, you know that's exactly what.
As the primary election approaches, Henyard is running out of options, and allies her main opponent Jason House has been gaining momentum, positioning himself as the leader Dalton needs to restore order and trust. A lifelong resident of the village, House has made ethics reform and financial transparency the cornerstones of his campaign. "We need someone who's going to put the people first, not their own interest," he said in a recent statement, judging by the crowd at the last board meeting. Many residents seem to agree is one of the most recognizable faces that's been on the news lately about the mayor of Dalton, Tiffany Henyard, and all of social. While House is focused on moving Dalton forward, Henyard seems stuck in the past, clinging to power. As her support fades, her repeated absences from meetings, refusal to address the insurance crisis, and ongoing legal battles have many questioning her endgame. Is she hoping to ride out the storm and salvage her career, or simply buying time before the inevitable? One thing is clear: the clock is ticking, and Henyard's days in office appear to be numbered. The fan reactions to Hen's downfall have been brutally honest. One commenter captured the general sentiment, saying she had the golden opportunity to do something amazing in Dalton as a young black woman, yet she chose to throw it all away because her ego got in the way. Disgraceful. Another pointed to a recent scandal involving alleged misconduct by a trustee during a Vegas trip, suggesting she missed those meetings because the night before the audio and FaceTime of Trustee Holmes bragging about his shameful activities leaked. She's dodging the fallout as the drama continues to unfold. Residents are left to pick up the pieces of a government in disarray. Thornton Township's insurance crisis remains unresolved, leaving vulnerable populations without essential services. Dalton's finances are in tatters, with no clear plan to address the massive deficit, with Henyard refusing to step down. The road to recovery looks long and uncertain. However, there is hope. As one resident put it during a protest, "We've been through tough times before, and we'll get through this too, but first we need to clean house." With the primary election just weeks away, the question remains: will Tiffany Henyard finally face the consequences of her actions, or will she find a way to cling to power? Who has what it takes to lead Dalton and Thornton Township into a brighter future? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this unfolding saga. Stay tuned, because if there's one thing we've learned about Tiffany Henyard, It's that the drama is far from over.